Hey, what's up, everybody? My name is Andrel. Are you hungry? Well, come on in. Let me fix you a plate because today I'm sharing with you my secret 7-cheese recipe. It's called Andrel's 7-cheese killer mac. And anybody who knows me knows I am second to none when it comes to mac and cheese, let me tell you. But listen, when I was in culinary school, I was taught to change 3 things in any recipe and make it yours. That being said, use whatever cheeses that you have on hand and it's open to interpretation, okay? So before we get started, please remember to like, subscribe, hit that notification button, tell a friend or 2 or 3 where I am because I'll be cooking up new recipes every week and bringing them to you. So go ahead, hit that notification button and let me feed your soul. Let's get started. So listen, first of all, we're gonna get started by grating our own cheeses. You heard it. Now listen, you can save time by buying the prepackaged stuff, but it comes with a little waxy film that keeps it from sticking in the package. So I just find that grating your own cheese and showing a little extra love to the people who you're making it for is always optimal in making this dish. Now, let's talk cheeses, shall we? Now, it's my belief that you should always choose a sharp, tangy cheese when making mac and cheese. And that's gonna hit you right here in the back of the palate here. And it gives you that sharp tanginess that you're looking for that says it is mac and cheese. Then you wanna have a smooth, creamy cheese like a Fontina or a Gouda or whatever you're gonna use. And of course, stretchy cheeses. That's gonna be ooey and gooey when it melts like mozzarella and provolone. But don't worry, I'm gonna have the full link to the recipe that I'm using, but of course you can choose cheeses that you like to use yourself. Now again, we're gonna get started grating these up and I've already been grating, so let's show you here what we have here. So I have it all mixed and blended in together, okay? And then I'm gonna grate some sharp, like the orange cheese, what we call it, the orange cheese. And I'm gonna grate that up and set a little bit at the side for the topping. So now that I have my cheeses all grated, I have it in a big 2-gallon bag and I'm gonna make sure that they're all mixed and incorporated. Then we're gonna move over here and get started on our roux. Now listen, here's one of my little secrets and a lot of people sort of shun, but however, this is my recipe. You could use it or omit it. But today I'm gonna be using a processed cheese as the base. Starts with a V, you all know and love. So we're gonna be using half a block of that processed cheese. And I just find that it gives it that texture that I am looking for. Now I have several different mac and cheese recipes where I use it and some that I don't use it in. So again, you can use whatever you like. I'm gonna use half a block and get it cut into nice cubes and get that melting inside of the roux. Let's go ahead and give this a chop down the middle. Put it on top, chop it down the center again. And then we're gonna be cutting these into like 1-inch cubes or so. Let's set that aside and let's get started on the roux. I notice I already have my pasta water boiling, so we're actually gonna start on that first. So to this water, I'm gonna add a generous amount of kosher salt. And as you know, it should taste like the sea. So we're gonna go ahead and pour a generous amount in there. Have it tasting like the ocean. Okay, so now we're gonna start with our pasta. Let me get that in. I have about 2 pounds here. I'm gonna add to the water. Then we're gonna get that stirred around so that they don't stick together. So where's my spatula? There we have it. Let's stir that up and get those nice and separated. And then we're gonna cook these until they're just al dente, okay? So you can feel that little sponginess in your hands, just where I want it. Nice and beautiful. I drained these and shocked them under some cold water. So I have my noodles draining here. I've shocked them with cold water to make sure we stop the cooking process. Now, I use large elbow mac in my mac and cheese. Some people, or a lot of people, like to use the small ones or even the shells. I just find that this, with these tunnelings holds all the ooey gooiness inside, and it bakes up really nice. So I cooked these to their al dente. Don't be afraid to taste it too. You're gonna make sure you have the right texture to it. So to this pot, we're gonna start on our roux, and I'm gonna add half a stick of butter, unsalted. Get that in our pot, and then of course, equal parts of flour. And we're gonna cook this. It's about equal. Grab our spatula. Get this butter nice and melted with the flour. And we're gonna cook this, it's called like a blonde roux, and we just wanna get that flour taste cooked off of it. So just long enough for that. And then we're gonna go ahead, once this is all done, because I don't want any browning with the roux. So I just wanna get it just cooked off that flour taste. And this process is gonna go fairly quick because I'll show you what seasonings to go ahead and add in. So I'll be right back. So to that roux, I've added about a quart of heavy whipping cream. And now I'm gonna go in with our seasoning. Let's get this cheese base seasoned up with a little granulated garlic, a little onion powder. It took a little bit of a splash, but that's not gonna hurt anybody. A little white pepper. I actually use white pepper instead of the black pepper because I wanna avoid the specks. I want the sauce to look nice and creamy. Now, a lot of people like to use chicken bouillon. I cannot stand that stuff. I just want the cheese to be the star of the show, so you could add it if you like, but for me, I don't like it. I'm gonna add in some smoked paprika, and you can also use a little Cajun seasoning if you like, or your seasoning of choice. Again, I like the cheese to be the star, so I'm just gonna use some kosher salt to season up this cheese sauce. And so I'm gonna add a couple of nice pinches in there. Again, you gotta compensate for those noodles. And so we're gonna get this nice and stirred up. Now, this particular recipe I use a lot for catering and as well as for, our Thanksgiving and Christmas mac and cheese that I make in big batches. So now we're gonna go on with our V-word cheese. We're gonna get that mixed in there. And then this gives it a nice body to this sauce, the base for it. So which I absolutely love, and everyone who has it loves it also. So we're gonna get that nice and mixed up. And now we are all ready for our big boy cheeses, y'all. Let's grab our cheeses and start incorporating into this delicious, smooth texture of a cheese base. So now that we have our seasonings already in there, we're gonna go ahead and start adding our cheese blend to the sauce. So I'm gonna add some nice big handfuls of cheese. And then we're gonna stir this in and just let the heat melt it. Remember, you wanna get the seasoning's just right. Remember, you can put it in, but you can't take it out. So don't be afraid to grab a couple of tasting spoons, I always say this, and give it a taste. The cheese sauce should coat the back of a spoon. We're gonna give this a taste. Seasoned just well. We'll add more cheese. We're looking for that bite. And of course, we're gonna save the other half for layering this mac and cheese and also the topping. So let's just get this all incorporated. Look at that. So for our cheeses, I have 7 different cheeses here, y'all. Each one with a different note. Again, I like the cheeses to be the star of the show. So again, no chicken bouillon for me. So I'm gonna let that residual heat melt these cheeses and get that nice and stretchy. Again, you can bathe in this cheese sauce, y'all. You can also freeze it. It freezes well if you make too much. Again, I'm gonna add a couple of sprinkles more. Can never have too much cheese. Again, this is mac and cheese. So next, I'm gonna go ahead and get started adding in our noodles, and just look at that. It is perfect. The empty pan is all I wanna see at the end of dinner service. So now for a little overhead shot of that cheese sauce. Look at that color. Nice and orange. It's beautiful. It's stretchy. And so we're going to start to add in our noodles in just a second. Now, again, I don't like to add an egg or anything like that to my mac and cheese. I'm not looking for casserole or that casserole texture. I like a nice in-between. Not soupy, not like a casserole. I want to spoon it in and get all that ooey gooey cheesy goodness. So again, I have about 2 pounds of perfectly cooked al dente noodles, and I'm just gonna add them in. And I do this now just by like breathing because I've done it like a million times. I am like a mac and cheese guy here. So the key is to get all that cheese sauce in every nook and cranny of these noodles. So we're gonna add it just a little at a time. And it has a body all of its own. So it has a motion, a body, and you stir it, and you sort of make love to it. You wanna make love to your food. And that's how it comes out so good. People can appreciate it's a good dish that has been made love to. Did I say that right? So again, that's perfect. So now that I have them noodles all blended with the cheese sauce and the cheese, it should sound something like this. Now, if your mac and cheese doesn't sound like this, I do not want it. I do not want it. And that's bay leaf that I picked out of there, just so you know. So here I have a greased cast iron skillet that I've greased with butter. And I just put that there because I want that mac and cheese to form a little crust at the bottom, that little golden brown buttery crust that you all know and love. Again, no egg needed. If you get the consistency right with the cheeses and the cream, and again, it's a motion that you got to move with. Look at that stringy cheese. This is, oh my God. So let's pile a little bit more on top before adding in our 7 cheese blend to top that off. And then we're gonna give this just a little shake and smooth it out. And again, look at that body. Look at that body. Okay, now let's grab a handful of that cheese and sprinkle it around on top just like so. That is beautiful. I can't wait. You can actually eat this right now if you're the big back that I know you are. And I only know that because I'm the same. See there? So now let's take this over and put a little sprinkle of Cajun seasoning just on top. And this is just for show and color and all that goodness. Again, it's not throughout the recipe. I want the cheeses to be the star of the show. So at the bottom of the oven, you notice I have a little sheet pan with a little water, and that's to catch any cheese drippings. And you don't want that smoking up the entire house. Close that up. The oven is set at 350 degrees. And look at that. Let's zoom in and get the bubbles you see forming around the corner there. You see that? Golden brown. Let's go ahead and pull this bad boy out. That is the color that we're looking for. Let me tell you, you could drink this. Not hot, of course, you know. But you could drink this. I can't wait to taste it with a little bit of sweet potato, candy yam, however you like to eat yours. Let's get that out. That is textbook mac and cheese, y'all. You cannot get any better than this, if I do say so myself. Look at that, just gorgeous. Ready for your close-up. Ready for your close-up. So we've gone ahead and taken this mac and cheese out of the oven. I wish you can smell the aroma from the butter and the cheeses. I just cannot wait to bite into it. Let's grab a spoon, y'all. Let's try this. That crust is nice. Oh, we need a close-up of this. Hold on. Again, perfectly cooked. Get that cheese pool. I'm just gonna pile my plate up, let me tell you, because this here is what I'm looking for. Let's go in for a taste. Look at that. It's too hot, actually. So let's try this again. Let's try this again. Still piping hot, but let's give it a blow. God damn. Andrel, you've done it again. Perfect. Be sure to try this recipe. Make it your own. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And follow me for more. Love you guys. See you next time. This is Money right here.